built over there for the Nebraska Furniture. He's got a lot of cool things to tell you. He was in 6th grade just like you guys years ago. So without further ado, I'm going to let you welcome with a really rousing welcome like you just showed me for Mr. Ed Lipsett of Nebraska Furniture.
Wow, that's pretty good. It's almost like I'm Katy Perry. Maybe like Katy Perry around? All right, of course there's Katy Perry fans. Well, maybe I will talk about maybe 6th grade, kind of where I started when I was in you guys' shoes. So I thought long and hard about this morning. And kind of the first thing I kind of started around 6th or 7th grade. Well, a couple things that when I was your age, actually, I wanted to be a rock and roll star. So I learned how to play piano. I learned how to play drums. I was learning all kinds of instruments possible. And I spent a lot of time performing as a child in a church. And having parents that also performed in a gospel group, we always were entertaining others when I was a young kid. So I kind of always knew I was comfortable. I wanted to talk to people just like this and be around a lot of people and be able to communicate really well. But it helped me in situations like this because I got really comfortable with talking in front of large groups of people. So I decided, though, when I was your age, I needed to make a little bit of money. So I wanted to get some cool stuff just like you guys have. So I started a lawn mowing business. And used a lawnmower, and I pushed the lawnmower around a little town with the gas can, and I tied it to the lawnmower, and I took it around, and I started mowing lawns. And I got $5 per lawn, if you can imagine that. And by the end of my 6th grade year, I was mowing 10 lawns per week. So it was a pretty big business for me. And then by the end of my 7th grade year, I was mowing about 15 or 20 lawns. And it was pretty successful, but it taught me, though, how to talk to other people, how to talk to other adults, and how to take on some work, and how to be responsible for it and do a good job, because I wouldn't get paid unless I did it. So hopefully, then that translated to later is kind of having the feel of how did I run my own business. So kind of when I was a little bit above you guys' age, I was kind of doing that, trying to figure out how do I start my own business. So when I got to high school, I got my first job in retail in a store, a hardware store. And I worked there for about 3 or 4 years. And did a little bit of everything there. I cleaned, I helped customers, I cashiered customers, I helped them find stuff. So if people were buying hammers or nails or tools or plumbing, I helped them as well do that. And that kind of translated to then when I graduated from high school, I went to college and started working for Sears. Have you guys ever heard of Sears? Yeah. I worked for Sears for a little while as well in sales. So I sold all kinds of stuff for them. I sold bicycles, sold lawnmowers, sold paint. And I kind of was able to do that because I had that experience from high school where I learned how to do that stuff. But then the funny thing came up again, guys. I thought I was going to be a rock and roll star again. So I gave all that up and went and performed as a full-time musician. And performed around the country with a musical group or two. And, well, I didn't get famous after all, as you guys can tell. So, I came back to town and I started a job in security. So I was a security officer and ended up working in retail, in a retail store, catching shoplifters for a living to pay my way through college. So I knew it was real important. I had to go to college. I had to finish. And in order for me to afford to do that, I ended up taking a job where I could help, so to speak, apprehend the bad guys and help protect this retail store. And I got really good at that. And matter of fact, I got really good at figuring out who those people were that weren't supposed to be in that retail store that were taking stuff they didn't buy. I thought, man, if I'm so good at that, I must really be good at picking out the good people that should work here. So I applied for a job in what they call human resources, which are people that hire people for a living in retail, and they train people for a living. But I applied once, I didn't get the job. I applied again, I applied twice for this job, and I didn't get the job. And then I applied a third time, and by the third time around, somebody gave me a shot at doing the new job. So they hired me, and I became what they call the human resource manager. And so I started to hire people for a living. I got really good at it. Started training people, started teaching people on how to perform their jobs. And then over time I did so well at that, I always seem to have a reputation. You always want to have a reputation where you're willing to do more, you're willing to say yes, that you're willing to help out others. And if you're that way and you continue to behave that way throughout school and throughout your job, you're going to see people are going to give you other opportunities to do things. So by doing that, they gave me other jobs in retail. So they put me in charge of a store overall, and I managed a retail store that sold clothing. And that was real successful. And had a good time with that and did that for about 10 years. And it gave me a lot of great experience. And then probably at some point I decided I wanted to try something else. So I went to work for the government for a while as an investigator. And it was a job where you investigated businesses and making sure they were doing the right thing under the law. And well, a short time along, a couple years later when I was performing that job, there was a really cool company that had a job opening. They said they were looking for somebody. They were looking for somebody to be in human resources, that job where I hired and trained people. And it was Nebraska Furniture Mart who was coming here. So I went after it, and I applied for the job, and after having 5 job interviews later with them, I got the job. And working with them, remember I told you guys, you always want to have the reputation of when people ask you to do things, you're willing to do it, and that you're willing to take on more, and you're always willing to learn new things. And when I was working for them as well, about 3 or 4 positions later with Nebraska Furniture Mart from doing that, then I became a store director of our store in Kansas City, Kansas. And I've been there the last 3 years. And then really working hard and really putting a lot of effort into it and doing my very best all the time, they asked me if I wanted to move to Texas and open the world's largest home furnishing store. And of course I said yes, so that's what got me here. You guys have any questions? All right, I love questions. Woo! Yes, young man.
Are you going to go to work at the new big one that they're building?
Yes, I go to work right down there right now in a construction trailer. And that's where I work right now. And when that one's all done, you will come in there with your parents and you'll see me all the time working in there. Yes?
What was your college?
I got a degree in human resources management. Bellevue University.
What?
All right, let's see, another question. Yes, sir.
What are your accomplishments and achievements?
Accomplishments and achievements. Well, let's see. So an accomplishment and achievement. One of my big ones was, I think, I paid my own way through college. I worked very hard while I went to college to pay my way through school and finish college. And I really grew sales in our Kansas City business and made that a world-class place where people want to shop, where every single time they go there, nothing could be better in a service level, that people would want to come back again and really create a lot of loyalty with people. And while I was there, received a national award for teaching, for putting together a program teaching English to our Hispanic employees so they could better communicate in our distribution center. That's a couple. I hope that helps. Yes, ma'am?
Would you ever want to retire and get a new job?
Yes. That's a good question. Yes, someday. Someday I think I would like to do something like, maybe I'll rent fishing boats someday. Or try something brand new. Variety is good, and that's another thing. The more jobs you do, the more things that you try, the more choices you have in life. Yes?
What were some obstacles or struggles that you had to face to get where you are right now?
Well, some obstacles. Sometimes, one of them that comes to mind is sometimes, I would want a job really bad. I'd want to do a job. And I would interview and I wouldn't get it the first time. And I would apply the second time. And I would go ask them, apply for that job and ask if I could get it. And then a third time even. And this is something that if I could give you guys anything in particular, that in life, if there's something you really want, you got to really try hard for it. Because even when you think you can't try any harder to go after what it is, whether it's you're playing on a baseball team, or whether it's about getting a good grade, or whether it's about going after a job you think you want to do when you grow up, when you think you can't try any harder, when you take an extra step and try that much more, it makes all the difference in the world at getting to what you want to happen and achieve. Let's see, I'm going to sneak back here this time. Yes?
Did you have any family or any other people that were really helpful with this?
Very good. Yes. I had a mom who always insisted that I go on to college, that I go to college and finish. That it was important for my future that I go to college. And then I had a father as well who always worked around customers and had his own business. And I always got to see how he treated other people. He always treated them really well. He treated everybody with respect, no matter who they were. And that taught me a lot, and that opened a lot of doors for me on if I was nice to other people and treated them the way I would want to be treated. It helped me a lot with them. Yes, young man. Where was I born? A city called Council Bluffs, Iowa. Excuse me? C-O-U-N-C-I-L, and then a second word, which is Bluffs, B-L-U-F-F-S, then it's Iowa, I-O-W-A. Well, why one of my Nebraska Furniture Mart job I have now is because it is going to be the largest home furnishing store on the planet Earth. So if you had to manage a store, you would want, if you had a choice, at least me, I would want to manage the very best and the very biggest if I could. I would like to do something that nobody's done before. And you guys are all a part of that here in the colony, in the city of the colony. as a part of that, we're going to do something that's never been done before together. And let's see here. Yes, young man back here in the red sweater.
How big is the
Let's see, I believe the furniture store itself is about 9 football fields big. And it also has an electronics store in it, the size of probably like a couple Best Buys, 2 or 3 Best Buys. So we sell Xbox and we sell PlayStations and we sell all that cool stuff too, iPads and iPods and cell phones and everything everybody likes. Yes. Elementary school? It was called Glenwood Elementary. In a little town called Glenwood, Iowa. Yes. My hobbies? Okay, well, my biggest hobby is I am a musician. I like to play piano and I like to play drums. And make a lot of noise. And then beyond that, I like to spend time with my family and I like to walk my dog. Let's see. Yes, young man. Yes.
what
Oh, gosh. 1968. Yes.
What is your greatest memory?
My greatest memory? Getting married to my wife. Somebody emailed that to my wife. Yes.
Why do you like this job?
Why do I like this job? Because I get to talk to all kinds of people all day long and communicate with other people. It's something that I do really well, I think. So it's just, I enjoy it because I do it really well. And then it gives me a lot of challenges because it's so big. Yeah, let's see here. Yes?
Did you have any struggles or obstacles that big obstacles you had to face during this?
Yes, I would say I always had to learn a bunch of new job duties and how things work. You know, like in my current job, we have delivery, and you have to understand how delivery trucks work and how far do they go out and how do they operate. How do people unload trucks? How do people sell product? How do you keep track of all the stuff you got? And probably just constantly having to learn. Your whole life you're going to spend learning. And the more you can learn, the better you're going to be. Yes, young lady? Did I play any sports? Yes, I did. I played basketball. Yes, young man.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
Do I have any kids? Yes, I do.
How many?
4.
Whoa. Whoa.
I have 4 kids. I have 3 girls and 1 boy. I have 4 boys. 3 girls, 1 boy, 2 dogs. And yes.
Would you throw away this job when you're outside business?
Yes, I would. I like both though. So it's but no, I don't think I would. I like my job, and I like living here, and I like my job, and it's going to be completely incredible. As much as I like that, you can still enjoy your hobby, and you can still have a job at the same time. Yes. Huh? Of course, I had a girlfriend in middle school.
At our age?
But all the things
Of course, I did.
I know.
That was important. I don't think I'm going to mention her name. She probably want to appreciate it. She'll get all embarrassed. Yes.
what breeder do you see two dogs?
What breed? Border Collie and Lab. Yes. So one likes to catch frisbees and the other one likes to eat frisbees. Yes?
Do you live in a colony?
No, I live in Prosper, Texas, up the road. Yes?
What kind of places do you perform
What kind of places? Like steakhouses, auditoriums, parks, state fairs. Yes?
So, like, does your family, like, just carry all the tradition of store stuff?
Well, no, I think everybody's still kind of in school, so it's, for the most part. So nobody else is in retail like me. The rest of my own family, everybody's a school teacher but me. And let's see, go over here.
And you got just 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, better make it good.
What is your family think of your business? Like your siblings and your parents?
I think they're happy. They really like our business, and they know it's good work, and we do something really good for the public. Offer something to people that really improves the way they live. They get a more comfortable sleep. They can buy a refrigerator. They can get a TV for their family to enjoy. Yes.
Who inspired you to do
Oh, I never was a rock.
Like, who inspired you to do
Who gave me the idea? Probably my father. My father was a musician, and my mother was a musician in their church, and it kind of inspired me to do that. And then when I was 5 years old, my father came home and got my first record. You guys call them CDs, and that was the Jackson 5. You guys know who Michael Jackson is? Those are my first 2 albums. And I was in love with it. I wanted to be Michael Jackson when I was 5 years old. Yes, young man.
Is the boy the youngest?
Huh?
Is the boy the youngest in your family?
Nope, he's the middle. He's a twin, right in the middle. He's in high school. Huh. Yeah, I was the youngest of mine. It's tough. I'm too old to sit. All right, one more question. I think we got to wrap up. College football team, University of Nebraska. No.